Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's June 1st, 2019. I'm up near the second food forest. Behind me are beds over there, over here, and one over there that's still tarped. In recent previous years, we've been growing large amounts of garlic and all. Last year I grew blue Irish type potatoes in this bed and the blue Hubbard squash. Pretty successful. And this is an area that gets pretty darn wet, and it originally, compost was a raised bed that was probably 4 to 5 foot wide. There's wood chips on either side. I went through with the tilther and turned over the wood chips on either side and picking out some of the rocks, tossing them over there on the wood chip surface over there. And my goal this year is to see, can we grow some sweet corn here and some small red kidney beans here as well, sort of as a companion. Now these are bush beans. Typically when we talk about the triad of using sweet corn, which is a high nitrogen consumer, planting pole beans next to the sweet corn, and they can climb up the sweet corn after the sweet corn gets a little bit higher, and then planting some squash to shade out the area as well. I'm not sure how successful this would be. I've got bush kidney beans that I'm going to be planting on either side of the sweet corn. My goal is to put in one row of the red kidney beans, which I just ran down, put one row in. Then I ran the tilther on each side of it. And I'm using the earthway seeder to plant the seeds, which the earthway seeder is a pretty darn good seeder, especially for corn and beans, bigger seeds that don't work quite as well with the Jang seeder. The Jang seeder is the best all-around seeder altogether, and the earthway seeder is a very good seeder as well, and it's much less expensive. And I'll put a link to that in the description below, to the earthway seeder. But today I just planted a single row of red kidney beans down the center. And these are red kidney beans from last year. Some of them were damaged in the process of removing the hulls and all, and I'll go over that someday as well. And our sweet corn, is harvested in 2016. It may have gotten a little bit moist. We'll have to see how well it does do. I'm not sure I'll be able to irrigate this area this year, so we'll see how things work out. So this is one of those things of, let's get some seeds in. The ground has been so wet. This area has been so wet, it's been a real challenge. Yesterday it was dry, and we had a little sprinkle this morning, but I came up with the tilther, ran it down there a few times, and then ran it one more time where I was going to place the first row of kidney beans. Now I'm going to put a row of sweet corn on either side of the bush kidney beans, and then I'll be putting more beans on the outside of the corn as well, in the wood chip area as well. I'm not looking for any tremendous success. I just want to get some nitrogen put back into the soil, see can we get some beans out of it as well, and possibly some corn. So we'll see how this goes. So I was able to get 7 rows of plants started in this bed. In the center row, I started off with some small red kidney beans, and then on either side of that row I put sweet corn. So I got 2 rows of sweet corn and 5 rows of the small red kidney beans. And you know, typically people will say, geez, putting your rows of corn 30 inches or 36 inches apart. We planted 2 and 3 rows on a 30-inch permanent raised bed and had pretty good success. The beans, bush beans, depending on how big they get, they can really crowd each other out. But as you can see from some of the GoPro footage, hopefully some of that showed up. I know the camera stopped when I was planting the corn. But that earthway seeder really makes the job much less labor intensive. I wish the handles were longer on it so I didn't have to bend over, but otherwise it's pretty much an ideal tool for planting these large seeds like the sweet corn and beans, and potentially even things like our sunflower seeds, any of the bigger seeds that there are. Even I think the beets, it might be great at the beets as well. I haven't really used it for some of the smaller seeds. I use a Jang seeder for all of those needs. So we'll see how this develops and whether I do get an irrigation system up in here this year, bit by bit. Pond 1 is just to my left, the right of your screen, and Pond 2's down that ways a little ways. So we're up just on the edge of the second food forest, or some of the trees planted around. Difficult to see with this lens. But we'll give you an update on how this garden does throughout the season as well. Well, thanks so much for watching, folks. I really appreciate it. If you found the video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and by all means leave comments and suggestions, or tell us about things that experiences you've had planting such crops close together as well. Thanks, folks. Take care now. Bye-bye.